Okay, today I'm going to show you how to use or create a Google form or survey, since it's one of the most commonly requested ones that I get from teachers, how to make these and how to use them in the classroom. And here's just a quick example of one way that I've used it in the classroom. So I made interactive class social contracts. And we did the capturing kid hearts by flipping and going over with the kids. And the first couple of years I did this, we'd write it all down, then I'd have to write everything and we'd have all that. And it wasn't near as interactive as I wanted it to be, and I wanted them to be more interactive in using things together in class. So I decided to create a survey that the students would go and fill out, and they could fill it out anonymously so they could really put what they felt, and then we could discuss it the next day in class without anybody having any preconceived notions, because you don't know who gave the information. So we went through here, and they would put their first and last name, what class they are, and they would answer the questions that we had so that we could discuss, like, what are you going to do if there's a conflict? What should you think should be a reward, or what should be a consequence? You know, getting actual student buy-in to this. And they give you some really good information, because what happens is when they finish this form, it drops it down into a database for you. So I'll show you this one here. This is just architectural design, third period. And I asked them, you know, these are the responses. And what I did is I took out the names. I knew who did it. So I knew who it was, so they got the credit for doing the assignment for the day. And there's no way that anybody will know. I mean, that way they're not getting picked on for how they write. You know, some students write better than others, some don't. You know, there's different things that they would put on, and we would actually use this to discuss in class, and then my class secretary would write down, you know, yeah, this is good, yes, this is what we need to do, etc. And actually what I had them do was on another computer, everything that everybody said that was appropriate, I had them typing it in, and we were putting it into the class's contract, because what we did is that we then use this data to create our class contracts using Takedo. And you can use Wordle, Takedo. There's so many different cloud out there where you can make some fun, interesting things. That the kids went in and they decided what words needed to go in there. And the more times that word was used, obviously the bigger it became. And it was really interesting how in all of them respect was, you know, it's just interesting how all of them respect was their biggest thing that they had. And we just went through and obviously made what they felt. They used whatever color they wanted to use, used whatever shape they wanted to use. I mean, I had predefined colors that I used to define my classes, but they could do what they wanted to. That was their choice. Now, I get asked this a lot of time, how do you do this? So here I am. I'm in here. I'm going to go to create, and I'm simply going to create a form. And the first thing I like to do is I like to title my form. So we're going to call this on how to create a Google survey / form, and put whatever text you want in here. Sample question is, do you use Google Docs in the classroom? And this one would be a multiple choice, and I want to say yes, no. Done. Let's see, I want to add another one. So let's add an item and let's do a scale. How well do you know Google? This would be scale 1. I know how to Google it. 2. Expert Google user. Done. And you can just keep adding whatever you want, paragraph text, etc., whatever you want to go in there. And then the next I always tell people, because obviously we're teachers and we want to get people's attention, because if you just show it like this, it's a little boring. Go find something that you like. And there's plenty of themes. There's tons of them in here. I'll just pick the garden one just for fun right now, and I'm going to apply it. And then I'm going to say, okay, it's every way, it's like I want it, and I'm going to exit out. And now everybody usually freaks out. And I'll say, well, okay, there's different ways to search for things. You could type it in here and search for Google. I can go to just recent, because it was the most recent thing that I created. And it's right here. All right, here is mistake number 1 that everybody makes, because they can put the questions in that they want to ask and the data they want to get from kids, and they want to do an exit survey or whatever. They give them this link. This link is to your data. This is what you're collecting from the student. This is not the survey. This is your data. Okay, so you want to go to the live form. So click on form, go to live form. So you see the actual survey, the actual form. And then here's your address. This is the URL. Now, it's obviously really, really long, and that's not something you really want to share with people. So I like to Control-C it. So I've copied the URL, and I like to use the goo.gl. Kids call it, my class call it the GUI. And And I just paste and tell it to shorten the URL. It may ask you to prove that you are not a robot. And I love trying to figure out some of these words sometimes. OS. And actually, this can be kind of fun with the kids sometimes because they can figure it out better than you can. So you can have the kids come over and show you how to do it. Anyways, and so there's your short and URL. There's your GUI. There's your shortened Google. And so simply you share that one. So you Control C, and then you send that link, or you write that link on the board and tell the kids this is their homework for the night. They need to go complete this, or however you're going to use it in your classroom. So the next day you can discuss it. And you've got this here. You could share it with people. You could create a QR code if you wanted to from this. There's lots of different things that you can do with it. I do have some teachers that feel that they're a little more advanced and they want to embed it into their web page. You can do that too. Okay, so you just embed a web page. Here's your code, and you can embed it into your web page, but that's a little more of an advanced user. Most teachers are doing really good for their first time just actually going in and creating a form. Make sure you go to live form. This happens a lot on Twitter. We get a lot of people that are doing surveys in graduate schools, etc., and they forget and they send the wrong URL link. Make sure you use this link. Simply click on it. I do a Control-A, picks the whole URL. Control-C, go over to your shortener, to your goo.gl. All you have to do is type in that address and it'll bring it up. Paste it in, tell it to shorten the URL, type in your the information so that it knows that you're not a robot, verify, and it's going to give it to you. All right? Go have some fun with Google. Go experiment and go play. See how this works in your class. I mean, maybe you want to use it as the homework assignment for the night or your exit. You know, okay, everybody, you have to do this before you leave. So you get on the computer and you do the little exit survey. There's lots of different applications that you can use this for. It's up to you to be as creative as you want to be. And of course, as always, if you have any questions or problems, please don't hesitate. Contact me. Send me an email. Let me know what you need help with. I'm here to help you.